This game is as good as finished. My move. I draw! Perfect. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For 15 years. I've never lost a game in my life, and I don't plan on starting now. I will admit he put up a valiant effort, but I'm afraid it's no good. I've been sitting on one card to win me this duel. I win.
It looks like this duel's over, because I'm going to Synchro Summon the...
Wait, what summon?
Synchro, it's... You basically have a tuner monster, and it'll make sense, just don't...
Wait.
Can I read the card? Yep. Here you go. Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of sucks. If you are a gamer you know has played the game recently, you know all the major complaints. The turns take too long because the game has devolved into a rat race to establish as much board control as possible on the first turn.
Bro, look what it is.
Oh, is it finally my turn? I watched 3 daily dose of internet videos.
The card effects are overcomplicated to the point that you have to read a mini thesis each time someone plays them. Jesus, I mean, look at this! And the learning curve for the game has become so beautifully inaccessible that the game's community is composed almost entirely out of the competitive scene. But it wasn't always this way.
You see, back in 2007 or 2006, I don't know, it's been a while, so cut me some slack here, but back in 2006, little baby me discovered Yu-Gi-Oh! And oh my god, I fell in love with this game! I'd be chilling out with the crew in my schoolyard, getting my game on, and I gotta say, comparing that first year of playing the game to this footage of me getting absolutely destroyed on Master Duel, the game was so much simpler back then. But why is that? Is it because the game hadn't developed its modern, intricate mechanics? Probably, but also I was like 6 years old, and I didn't know what a searcher card was. I saw a card called Hungry Burger and put it in my deck because of course I would.
Back then, there was no meta when you're playing with the same 3 people over and over again. Unless you convince your mom to drive you to the local tournament and leave you unattended for 3 hours. Then yeah, the meta existed, but also the possibility of getting kidnapped.
So what changed? Well, in 2008, they introduced this! Why are you white?!
You see, what makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Different from other card games is that it has an anime attached to it. And it's interesting to see how both the game and the anime have influenced each other over the years.
For a while, Yu-Gi-Oh! Wasn't even about the trading card game. There's something called Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, where they just kind of gambled their souls over random bullshit. Hell, even when Yu-Gi-Oh! Became about the trading card game, it took a full season before the official rules came into the picture. So there was a whole tournament in the anime where they just made shit up. And it was awesome!
But because of all this, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is severely influenced by the laws of anime power creep. In order to keep both the show and game refreshing, they are constantly one-upping themselves with new card types with more powerful effects. Nowadays, there's a million different summoning methods to accommodate all the new card types. We got fusion summoning, ritual summoning, synchro summoning, XYZ summoning, pendulum summoning, which I still don't fully understand, and link summoning. Like, holy shit, the game has become a complete mess! What is this?
I am not kidding. This is an actual card. Help me! Help me!
While this trading card game may seem unfixable, the hell company that runs it, Konami, seems to be taking steps in the right direction. In 2020, they basically soft rebooted the entire game with something called Rush Duels. They revamped the rules, went back to basics, and god damn, look at the readability on that card design! Since Rush Duels came out, they've made 2 new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series that are both competing to be a bigger knockoff of Pokemon. And I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the shift to Rush Duels.
Except just kidding, no I'm not. That's right, big plot twist of the video. I'm actually a huge fan of the busted anime power scaling in this card game, and I think Konami are cowards for choosing to back down now. You see, the only way to fix this game that I love is to make it even more terrible, which is why on February 1st, I vowed to invent a new summoning method that would make the game even worse. and it took every day of my life since then in order to accomplish that. I'm just kidding, it took like 2 hours. So, using my degree in game design and my amateur Photoshop skills, here are 3 brand new summoning methods that could help make Yu-Gi-Oh! Even more terrible, and each one is more complicated than the last. Make sure to comment your favorite and like and subscribe.
First up is what I would like to call soul summoning. Soul summoning is pretty simple, except no it isn't. You see, monsters that can be soul summoned go right into your deck and look like normal monsters with the exception of a white and gold trim bordering the card. Now, you can normal summon a soul monster, and it will be treated as a normal effect monster. However, you'll be missing out on its soul effect without soul summoning. Each soul monster will list the other monsters you can use in order to soul summon. In order to soul summon, you need to declare one of those monsters, and you can special summon the monster from your hand. From this point on, that soul monster gains its soul effect and the effect of the monster you declared, because why not? Weak soul monsters will require a hyper-specific monster from your deck, while more powerful soul monsters will require a monster from a general type or level. This is important because soul monsters are destroyed when the monster declared to summon them appear in either player's field or graveyard. When destroyed, soul monsters go right to the graveyard. However, if a soul monster is in the zone a link monster points to, it can stay on the field even if the declared monster is also on the field.
Man, wasn't that great? Now, I know it would have helped if I had, like, a visual graphic or footage of it being used in a game to help you understand that, but too bad. Instead, you're just gonna have to use your imagination. Or Konami cannot be cowards and actually make an anime series all about soul summoning. You know, for this one, I'm imagining something a bit more spiritual, like something more akin to the first series of Duel Monsters. Because in that case, like, I can feel that, because, you know, soul summoning, having a link, maybe we can have like a Yugi Yami situation where you have a soul partner, but instead of it being from like ancient Egypt, it can be from ancient Rome. On to the next summoning method.
Next up is Cyclone Summoning. You see, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all about the balance between monsters, spells, and traps. So these gross greenish-gray Cyclone monsters require all 3 in order to be summoned. To Cyclone Summon, you must send a monster, spell, and trap to the graveyard from your hand or field. Cyclone monsters are stored in the extra deck like any other extra deck monster. The description of the Cyclone monster will list the specific monster that needs to be tributed, and these symbols will indicate if the Cyclone monster needs a specific type of spell or trap to be tributed as well. Things get interesting, however, when the Cyclone monster is destroyed. When destroyed, Cyclone monsters go back to the extra deck. If you can Cyclone summon the same monster a second time, you get access to another effect, and you get a third effect if you can summon it one more time after that. This bonus only applies for each consecutive Cyclone summon, and not for any other special summons. I like the idea that Cyclone monsters get stronger each time you bring them back, which means your opponents are gonna get really sick of seeing the same guy over and over again. Oh, and finally, Cyclone monsters have access to all of their effects if they are summoned into a zone that a Link monster points to. I know this is the second time I've brought up Link monsters, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it.
Anyways, Konami, I know you love the idea for Cyclone summoning. In fact, I know you love all these ideas, so you are 100% free to start printing these cards. In fact, I won't press charges at all. I just can't wait to watch the newest season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Storms, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series all about Cyclone summoning set in a post-apocalyptic future. And while we're at it, I think it would be really cool if Yu-Gi-Oh! Had an openly gay protagonist. Again.
Finally, there's Spring Summoning, and it's complicated, alright? I'm gonna be completely honest, I drafted up this one a year ago when I first made that tweet from earlier in the video. But luckily for me, I also made this graphic in MS Paint to explain it, so I'm just gonna stand here and read off what I wrote back then.
Okay, alright, so spring monsters are stored in the extra deck. That makes sense, they're like any other extra deck monster. What else we got here? When spring monsters are summoned, they go on... Hi, Donkey Kong. When spring monsters are summoned, they go on top of the graveyard? Oh yeah, no. I remember that. They go on top of the graveyard because when other cards are destroyed, they go on top of the deck instead of into the graveyard. That's kind of what makes spring monsters a little busted here. What else? And spring summoning requires up to 6 tributes? Are you kidding? 6 tributes? Okay. No, 6 tributes. So that will require an effect monster, a fusion monster, and an XYZ monster. Yeah, that makes sense. And then 1 spell, 2 traps. Okay, that's very conditional, but we can roll with that. It's very busted. And when destroyed, spring monsters go into the spell and trap card zone. Okay. And then they kind of have their spring effect, so they're kind of like monsters and traps, which explains why they're kind of like a reddish-orange color. That doesn't make any sense. So for the anime series, I'm thinking steampunk. And they can go into the graveyard or into a Link monster zone. That's cool. But none of this matters. You see, none of this matters because what matters is that now I've invented 3 new summoning methods that only I can use. And I can use it to crush my enemies in this children's trading card game. Yeah, that's right. Now I have the power of soul summoning, cyclone summoning, and spring summoning. So now that you're caught up to speed, I can end this duel with 1 synchro summon. I synchro summon Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier.
Hang on. I have a summon.
What?
So yeah, I have a summoning method for you. Get ready for this. I am going to go fish summon.
But you can't, it's my turn.
No. Go fish summoning. It's like a trap card. You can do it whenever.
No, because you're making things up.
No. Hey, you got to make up 3 summoning methods during this duel. Let me just have my one.
Yeah, because I've been playing the game longer since like 2007
hang on,
or 6.
Hang on. You didn't even hear what it was yet.
Explain it to me.
All right. It's really niche. Okay, it only works if I can accurately guess a card in your hand. That's why it's like go fish.
Okay, then you're not gonna guess it.
All right.
No. So is that it? You just guess a card?
Well, if I guess the card, I can use it to tribute one of my monsters and summon a
Go fish summoning?
Yeah, go fish summoning.
Where are the go fish summoning cards? They in your extra deck? They in your hand?
Well, all right. Show me where's the spring summon card.
Well, okay. Well, you don't know that I have a spring summon card. And don't you have to say you have to guess it?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm gonna guess it.
You're gonna guess
for this? I go fish summon with Donkey Kong.
How? How do you know I? Bullshit! You're cheating.
Show me Donkey. Show me. Thank you. Into the graveyard with him.
How?
Well, dude, I've been right there. I've been listening to you make this entire video for the last 2 days. You've been going off about how you're using Donkey Kong to spring summon. All right, so I'm going to.
I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play. I've been playing the game longer.
Hey, come on, I'm trying.
I've been playing the game longer. This isn't fair. You can't just make shit up. That's my area.
I'm just trying to get in with the. I'm just trying to come up with a new thing. I'm just.
Spring summoning was meant to be the most busted of them all.
Okay, but can you do it not on your turn?
No, I guess not.
I think a summoning method that you can just do like a trap, whatever you want. That'd be pretty busted.
But
it's like an infinite. Because you have to guess correctly. It's difficult. But if you know,
laugh it up. You're already winning the duel, anyways. By the way, I cheated on the first turn. You didn't know.
Damn.